All right, folks, Galin here on a Friday afternoon, January 14, 2022. Why am I telling you this? Because if you've been following us on our channel on YouTube and on Facebook, you know that Greg Stafford, I don't edit these things much. The man himself is working on the SoCo project, and I mean, there was a time when you couldn't get back here because it was cordoned off and you had a bunch of construction, folks. But it's looking good. So what have we got here? Where are you standing right now? What's going to be up here?
I'm standing on a stage, and hopefully we get the Dowdy boys and any other Chatham County fellows, people who want to play up here, and fans from all over the country, hopefully, will come up here on weekends and play, and we'll have a great outside atmosphere.
Just want to bring this up. I know you and I talked about it. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. One of Chatham County's favorite, Tommy Edwards, you got to talk to him about kicking off your stage.
Yeah,
but
he had promised, in fact, that he would be the first group to play here. It'd be him and the Bluegrass Experience. Obviously, that didn't work out. I'm holding it against him.
Yeah, you can talk to him sometime in the next 20 to 30 years, maybe. Maybe longer than that.
He had promised to play here, and unfortunately it didn't work out.
Yeah, we all appreciate having Tommy, those of us who knew him, and those of us who just heard him play. He was a Chatham County treasure. So this is the stage area, but what do you have over? Is this a fountain over here?
That's a fire pit.
A fire pit.
And so what we're going to have is a fire pit here. After they've tested it out and made sure the burners work, it'll be covered up with rock, so you won't see the burners, but you'll see the flame coming up.
Okay. And if you're doing things outdoors and it's not warm enough, are you also going to have heaters out here besides the fire, or you haven't decided?
I'm assuming the answer to that's yes. That would be more of a tenant issue than mine.
Okay.
I put in one. That's my spot right here.
Okay.
So if it's cold, I'll be warm, and then if you can get around. And
so if you've got a bunch of ladies over here, like my wife, she will try to warm up her buns. You're going to tell them to move because you're going to want to take that spot.
Or something like that.
Or something like that. And why? What's the idea behind this fire pit? Is this just a personal preference?
Well, yeah, something to stay warm, when it's cold out here. The other thing is, as you go north and south, up and down Sanford Road, you'll see that there's this fire pit, there's one in front of the mod, and then at the south end in front of the two-story building, there's another fire pit, and it should be pretty cool looking coming up the street.
All right. Are you allowed to, or do you know who the tenant's going to be in here yet, or is that still in the process?
No, the tenant is going to be a brewery called Havoc Brewing.
Havoc, like as in havoc?
As in, kerfluffle.
Oh, kerfluffle.
But they hope to be open in June. Having been through what I've been through, I'm skeptical, but hopefully they'll be open in June. Michael Pipkin is the owner. He's a good guy. I like him a lot. And they're going to be running a brewery. They will not be serving food. But the way this porch has been designed, that opening, those posts are removable.
Okay.
Underneath this brick is concrete, and we removed one of the legs that was on that canopy, so you can actually drive a food truck in and park it out here, and they'll be able to have food available on the patio on days they choose to.
Is that going to be limited to one food truck, or can you do multiple food trucks?
I think
you don't know.
You can do as many food trucks as you could fit on here.
All right. You also own the parking space on the other side.
Correct.
Is that going to continue to be parking space, or are you doing anything there?
That would be parking.
All right.
And we'll be cleaning it up after all the construction's done.
Yeah, this is quite an improvement. If folks look back, and I'll have a link to this. If you look at this a few months ago, you will see that this was just dirt, and you found a bunch of used gas tanks up underneath
There
it.
were 7 gas tanks under this spot, which was annoying. So we've removed those, and
right, because you have to follow safety protocols and make sure
Correct.
everything was cleaned up properly. So
and you got to ship the dirt to Georgia or something crazy.
okay, so we got Pittsburgh dirt in Georgia now.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Let's talk about what you got here. This is impressive, but what is it?
It's a canopy. That's kind of Taylor Hobbs whole thing.
Oh, so Taylor Hobbs is involved in this too.
Yeah, that design is all his. I was like, well.
Did you give Taylor
My
free
wife
range on this or what?
My wife was like, yeah, we need a cover to send under, and
Yeah, but you're keeping your buns warm on that fire
unless
pit.
it's raining.
Oh, in case it's raining.
But so Paula wanted the cover, and it's essentially Taylor.
So you put that cover up because of your wife?
Well, because she told me to.
Oh, okay. A happy wife makes for a happy life.
No, I'm just afraid. And so this is all Taylor Hobbs' design, and him and Rob Emerson designed the outside space, and this is all theirs.
Well, talking about design of outside space, let's talk about this wall, because at one time this was actually literally a wall.
Well, it was a wall with windows.
Right.
So these windows.
But it wasn't anything like it is now.
No, were exactly this high. This seam is where the bottom of the window was that went up. And
Right.
And the top is where the window was. We cut them out vertically, and so each one of these are garage doors. So during warm weather.
Wait a minute. What do you mean each one of these is a garage door?
That's a garage door, and it raises all the way up.
All right, so
It'll be
You-
all open.
you'll have an open area because that is going up. That's not just in place.
No, those all open up, and you can walk in.
I should have remembered that because
Right.
that was actually one of your original parts of your plan.
Correct.
All right.
And then the other cool thing is if you come over here,
Is this going to be like the coolest place in downtown Pittsburgh?
I hope so. So if you look at the ground right here, there's a nickel.
Oh, yes.
And that was in the original concrete when this building was built. And the story is, according to John Justice, that Jack Justice had come over here and as they were pouring the concrete said, "This is my last nickel," and put it into the concrete.
And I remember when you dug this out.
So we cut it out the size of a brick.
Right.
And then placed it in the brick sitting out here, and allegedly that's a 1919 Buffalo nickel. However, as people walked over, it has been worn smooth, but that's what that is.
So you're keeping a little bit of history here. Just like that picture you're planning to take of all the people who were born in the hospital later on.
Right, and the super duper cool thing is as we've been digging out back, we've dug up a whole lot of car parts, coins, bottles, things like that, and we've had Barron build a curio cabinet out of the wood that was in the ceiling that was 1949 hard pine that will display all of that stuff inside. But then we're having a sculpture made of all these 1920s spoke wheels and engine blocks that'll sit out here somewhere.
All right. Well, the neat thing is with all the construction going on in Chatham County, you're not just building something from the ground up or just tearing something down and putting something new up. You're taking what's been here and improving on it.
Well,
or updating it.
All except for the building on the south end.
All
And
right.
that one we were going to save, and then we were told, it's probably going to fall in. So
Well,
we
actually-
tore that down. But beyond that, yes.
Yeah, we got video of that building going down, and there was one part of it where towards the very end when that equipment's moving, that thing just collapsed.
Correct.
So that was probably a very smart move.
Yeah, it was in bad shape. And the original plan was, in fact, to save it. We just couldn't. So
Right.
we tore it down.
Yeah, it was sold, and that there was just so many things you'd have to do to bring it up to code
It had
too.
no real foundation.
Okay.
Was the problem. And so when we get down there and look at that end, though, I'll show you design-wise, again, Taylor Hobbs. The first floor of that building is identical to what the building was before.
All right.
And then the second story was built, so it's like old, and then stacked onto it is a new part, and so it's kind of a merging of the two.
Right. So, folks, right here, people have asked about on the chat list what's going on with SoCo. You've got an idea of what's going on with SoCo. We talked about what's happening with the hospital. We're talking about the fact that a brewery's coming in here, and the fact that we've got a roof here because Greg's wife wanted one.
Exactly.
We're going to move on to the next one?
Yes.
All right.